GM1 and all. This is our weekly all hands for April 24th, and we're going to use this time to sync up on work that's going on around Bankless Card, eliminate blockers, and prioritize the work that we need to do. First things first, take a quick attendance. There are Christy, Corrupted, the poor Paris, Pieris. I butchered that anyways. Rainus is here, Tom is here, NF Thinker is here, Gross is here, Coffee Crusher is here, and Windburst is here. All right. Okay, so on our lag metrics, we have plus $92 in the last week, which gets us to 2,600. Not a lot of transaction volume on a weekly basis. We're going to be aiming to get something like in our first go, something like 250,000 a week. So, we're quite a bit away from that, but we are moving forward. On the lead metric side, we had 2 new users. We had 2 communities deployed, so the same as last week, 4 returning users and zero new money in the multi-sig. Big team-wide announcement first, we are on Gitcoin, so this is something that I think got us on Gitcoin. We weren't really eligible in the past as we were associated very closely with Bankless, but now it's kind of open season for us on Gitcoin. At least there are 13 days left, so another 2 weeks. And if you don't know how Gitcoin works, it is quadratic funding, which means that if someone puts in $1, if many people put in $1, that helps us quite a bit. So essentially getting $100 from 100 people is way better than getting $100 from one person, just because of the way that the matching pool works. The more people that donate to us, the more matching we will get. So it's really important that we get as many people involved as we can, and as well, you can even tell people to donate $1, and that's a small way for people to show their support to us, and hopefully allow us to get a bigger part of that matching pool. So take a look at it. The link is right here. If you haven't, I encourage at least everyone in here to figure out how to donate to us $1 on Gitcoin if you can. That would be really useful. You will have to go through a proof of humanity, Gitcoin passport, and that kind of thing. But as a large project ourselves, just everyone putting in $1 is going to help us get a good amount from that matching pool. So definitely take a look if you haven't already. Anything else you want to say on that, Anna Thinker?
I'll just say anybody can donate. You don't have to go through the proof of humanity and the Gitcoin passport, but if you skip that, then you're not eligible for the matching funds. So typically what would happen in a round like this is if we raised, say, $100 in funding from individual donors, from 100 individual donors, so $1 each, we might get an extra $500 in matching contributions from the round. If you don't go through that Gitcoin passport process, you don't count as one of the matching. So our matching would go from, say, 500 down to 485. And you can actually see your matching contribution when you're donating. It will tell you an estimation on how much your match is worth.
Very cool. I'm going to have to bridge to Arbitrum. I don't think I've used Arbitrum much. Hey, Coffee Crusher, I see that you...
Yeah, GM, I was just going to say, can we, when we do the community call this Friday, with the updates of bCard, can we promote this to the Bankless community?
Yes, absolutely.
To help support us. And then can we also put it on, like, I don't know if it's on the announcement channel or on the Dow General channel, just sort of get more people to visibly see it?
So I don't know if we can put it on the announcements channel. Maybe we can. I'll ask a couple people around just so that we're not exploiting it. I guess like the worst outcome for us is that we do it and then we just encourage like all these other projects to potentially do it too. It would be better if we just did like kind of one announcement for all projects. But yeah, let me try to figure that out.
Yeah, well, we could put it on the Dow General. Like, like I've been noticing, like people have been promoting stuff, like, and Ornella has been promoting the academy and so forth. So
Yeah, absolutely. We can put in Dow General, and you can even ping a bunch of people if you like as well, like L1 or something like that. Or I'm not even sure actually. Maybe some people get pissed off at you for pinging L1, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the best way to do it is, but yeah, definitely you can use Dow General. Using the announcements channel is like a little bit more suspect. Let's just say that. All right. Okay, yeah, so that is for Gitcoin. So if you haven't taken a look, take a look. Throw it out on your socials as well if you like, if you feel so inclined. I will be doing that on Warpcast. I have 0 following on Twitter, so I guess I could try on Twitter too. We'll see. Payroll has gone out. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look. I know that there are some outstanding items, Coffee Crusher particularly, some stuff for March. And then there were some payments for Brett and Zooty Bear that I didn't get out yet either. I'll probably do another smaller disbursement later this month or early next month, just to get those last ones in. But I just wanted to get there. It's literally been like 4 months worth of 4 months worth of transactions that I needed to get out. So I wanted to get those out while I could. And it was cheap gas at that time too, so that was also helping. New member intros. I don't see anyone new, so we'll just pop over to their milestones. On the beta testing side, we didn't get any feedback from our Apple and Google Pay. It's been about 5 days now. So I think that the beta testers, I think we sent it out to something like 24 beta testers or something like that. It wasn't a lot of beta testers. And I think it would be nice if we had if we may have to, for the size of beta testers that we have, actually, sorry, I'm thinking in my head, we have around 35 beta testers. But for the size of beta testers that we have, we might just want to poke people and be like, hey, did you try to add it to Apple and Google Pay? Could you try? It's like a 5-minute process. Here's a little link. So I may do that for some one-on-ones.
I literally just tried and successfully added it to Google Wallet.
Oh, nice. How was it? Was it hard? Was it easy?
It didn't even take 5 minutes. It took probably 60 seconds for me to pull the card out of my wallets, take a picture of it, add in a couple details, and then it said cool.
Awesome. In general, that's great. Actually, I'm really glad that we had that feedback. But in general, we're going to have to do a little bit more high touch in this phase, which is getting closer to people. Sorry, go ahead. Did you have something else to say?
No, I'll try buying something with it later.
Yeah, so in general, you're going to have to be a little bit more high touch. We do have some beta testers who are using it more than others and leaving us feedback. Arkisti, thank you very much for all the feedback you've been leaving us in our general feedback form. And we had some others leave some feedback too, and still more who somehow left feedback without any email that we could contact them with. So we're getting some feedback, but I do think we're going to have to expand pretty rapidly, and maybe this means that beyond even communities as well. Maybe we just need to go public before we get to 50. We're at 35 anyways. Most of the bugs have been sorted out. There are definitely some rough patches, but I think we're getting to the point where we can go to a public beta pretty soon. The one thing that I would say is blocking us is the rewards flow. So really we just need to make sure that, so the rewards flow, it does consistently work within the Coinbase integrated wallet, but we do need a couple other things there. And I'm thinking maybe we'll just go into like let's say a soft launch public beta, where we start adding communities even, NF Thinker. So hey, we're on X community, we're still in beta, but we're working with this community while we're in beta. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We can discuss a little bit further in the discussion section, but yeah. So rewards flow is next, which we talked about. But next up, our content funnel, Rainus and Coffee Crusher. How's this looking?
On the overall content funnel, the up top strategy level, there hasn't been much progress. We have the ideas that we have gathered in still organizing it. It's a bit of a mystery, but this week I chose to turn my attention a bit more in the details, and we cooked up 3 videos with Andy and Ovsky just to break the mold of us not having a video to show, and those are in the communication chat. If you would check it out. We went on the approach of shorter, informative clips.
You muted yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in the communication. Check it out. These edits are not finished. They're just basic edits to show the info. I took the liberty of writing the scripts of our beta testing progress, info about Taxman, and that we have a new domain name. So please check them out. If any updates are needed, we'll probably refilm them because the lighting is not perfect, but this is a perfect chance to for you guys to review and update and maybe introduce some new ideas to our current approach.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rainus. How about from your side, Coffee Crusher? There's that article that you're still looking at.
Yeah, the article I'm still looking at, and just in general, sort of doing the socials. Like the Taxman theme, the bCard, and I saw NF's note from yesterday about Gitcoin, so I'm going to start promoting that.
Yeah, I think like one of the things which I'll say a little bit further down is that it looks like we're not going to be able to submit for Optimism Retro PGF. I was looking at the requirements in preparation, and it looks like what they're going to be looking for to be eligible, you have to have a smart contract deployed between January and May this year, and you have to have at least 250 unique uses of that smart contract. What that means is that we're not going to be eligible for Retro PGF, which means that while I do think Taxman is a good way to have a lead generator or just like content for us to utilize sometimes, I also think that we probably shouldn't be using it's not shouldn't, but it's not as important that we promote Taxman right now because we're not going to. The reason we were doing it was to be able to be eligible for Retro PGF. So that's the reason why we prioritize it, not the reason we're doing it in general, but the reason that we prioritized it. So yeah, just FYI.
Okay, got it. Thanks for the update on that.
It's unfortunate, but maybe we'll be able to get in some like later rounds with this stuff. And of course, we are helping DAO contributors with this. This is the tool that DAO contributors can use, and we updated it to allow for any date and many more tokens, which means that it is still useful for a lot of people. So we may want to think about how we can turn that into a more effective lead generator for us, like adding more, hey, Bankless Card is now live. Go to the Bankless Card site. Tom added a little within the Bankless Card app. You can go to Taxman and see it within our app as well. So it's a nice little proof of concept for us as well. But we're not going to be getting Retro PGF for it, that's for sure. So we're going to have to look at where it sits in our ecosystem a little bit more. But that's something we can leave in for the future. But if you're thinking about it, feel free to think about it. All right. We've set up our community funnel. NF Thinker, how's this going?
Going good. So the main thing that I did was a form. We looked at that form last week. That should be good to go. I will drop a link to that right now. Let me just grab the share link and paste it into here. And then another thing that I started work on was a partner revenue share document. So this is something that keeps coming up in these meetings that I have. Yes, we could do token buyback, or yes, we could fund their treasury, or yes, we could do both. But we'd have to work out a split if it was both, because there's only so much revenue and it only goes so far. So what I've started is a quick doc here, which we can add into our support site. You'll see it in the Asana when we go looking through there, but I'll drop the link in here so you can have a quick look anyway. And that is like, how is revenue generated? How is your community eligible for earning revenue allocation, token buyback timeline, and obviously we can add more headings and things here as they come up.
Well, yeah, I don't have access to it, but
Oh, right. Let me just change that right now.
is it on your personal email?
Yeah, I'll move it across as well.
Yeah, so you can put it into the shared get bCard folder. I mean, so here's the thing: we have two Google Drives, which is kind of weird. One was created before we had anything, right? And so it's just on my personal space, and I'm just like paying for the space on my personal. And then one is the new one in our Google domains, in our like same with our email. Add it to the Google domains, like in our on your get bCard email.
Right. I'll have to double check when I'm moving that. But for now, it's unlocked.
Cool.
And I'll make sure and add it to the right spot.
Is this something that we want to put into the support site?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
It's common knowledge for partners, so I
Okay.
think the more we can just direct people there to that FAQ, the better.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in terms of our fundraising efforts on accelerators, did not get A16Z, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting for us to get that, so not too broken up about it. Looks like we won't be able to submit for Optimism Retro PGF this round because they're really aiming for on-chain activity, and on-chain activity is something that last round apparently the projects that were creating 85% of the on-chain activity only got about 15% of the grants, which whether or not you want to say that's a good thing or bad thing, Optimism is adjusting their Retro PGF as they're going. So that is what's happening this round, at least. So we're not going to be eligible for Optimism Retro PGF for this May, but there are going to be other opportunities in the future, so we'll have to keep up to date with that. We are on Gitcoin, as we kind of discussed earlier, so that's another avenue for us to raise some funds. So go check it out and tell your friends. In terms of deploying our new brand, we haven't had any updates this week on that brand updating, so that is where we're at. We did have a meeting, was it last week or the week before? I think it was the week before, where we talked with Brett. Hey Brett, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, we're just going through the meet, talking about brand. Was it last week that we had a meet for brand, or was it the week before?
I think it was the week before, and then Coffee and Reynes and I met last week. Yeah, I think it was late last week.
Friday last week, yeah.
Boom.
Yes, with Andy. So that's great. There is some new work going on the brand right now. We're going to be sharing that as we get a little bit further into the process, especially around the new website. Because this new website, we're updating the website anyways to aim it more, instead of as a pre-launch product, into a product that is actually running. So instead of the current website, which is talking about benefits and getting people to join the cause and that kind of thing, it's going to be mainly aimed towards getting new users, helping users who need help, and finally getting as well communities involved. So we'll be seeing more around the brand on that side. But yes, discussion last week between Brett, Reynes, Coffee, Andy, review website. All right. Anything else related to brand? All right, let's go into our task perspective then. On the task side, I forgot to do this. I'll duplicate this. Duplicate task, week 17. Pretty sure it's week 17. Let's take a peek here. Yes, week 17. All right, that's great. So this is going on. I did spend my time doing project and ops Rate us on the communication side. Did you spend at least 5 hours?
Yes, I did.
And a thinker?
Yes, I did.
And Tom?
Yes, sir.
And Coffee.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much. I will leave that into the accounting for later. On the inbox, we have the bCard partner share rev doc. I'm assuming you're going to be working on that this week. Is that right, Anna Thinker?
Yeah, I'd like to have that up by this week. Yep.
All right, Travel Swap. Oh yeah, so you're also talking with Travel Swap, which we probably should have put into this update here. But yeah, did you want to tell us a little bit more about Travel Swap?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can add in some updates for the two partners I spoke with this week. Travel Swap, they're interested in a branded card. They spoke with another. Just to set this up and give everybody some understanding, Travel Swap is a booking platform that allows you to pay for hotels in crypto. They're activating flights and holiday bookings in the next 3 months. So that's all activated. They're ongoing. They have revenue, and they have some great partners. They have a point system that they're using, whereby people who spend earn points, and then they can redeem those points for partner value. So they have, for example, a $100,000 grant from SUI to distribute tokens. And so you can essentially trade your points for SUI tokens. Now, they're interested in a branded card. They spoke to somebody before who's a crypto card who they would be able to work with, but they wanted them to be doing 1.5 million in transactions per month. They wanted them to guarantee that, which Travel Swap can't. They're not that big yet. So I mentioned we could do a branded card for around 10 grand, but that it would be a fiat card, not a crypto spend card. I think this would be a good way for Travel Swap to get exposure to the fiat ecosystem with their points program. I also suggested that we distribute travel tokens, or what they do have a token called Travel Token, which is not out yet, and I don't know what their points are called currently. They might also be called Travel Points. Anyway, I suggested that they distribute those to all bCard users, and that anybody who uses the branded Travel Swap card would get a 3x boost. So this would make them our sort of de facto travel partner for our points program. And that would allow.
Love this. This is awesome.
I know, this is what it's all about, right?
Hell yeah, that's so dope. I want to design that card too.
Yeah, fuck yeah. They would
good.
love to. So the team is really cool. I hosted them in an AMA about a year ago, and then I caught up with two of the team members in this meeting last week. So yeah, that could be our de facto travel point program for bCard, and people could earn bonuses and boosts by affiliating directly with Travel Swap or by ordering the branded card. So yeah, that's them. ATX DAO, I also spoke with them. They are potentially interested in a card. I don't think they've got enough users to actually justify a branded card at all. But
Sorry, what partner was this?
ATX DAO. Austin
ATX
DAO.
DAO. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they'd be interested in potentially testing it, but they need to go back to some of the other members. I said that I would get them a one-pager across and a deck, so I need to finalize a deck with some partner information. I've been speaking with Hasu about that. She said she might be able to all details need to go into that, and then she's going to rework our existing POC deck to make it a partner-focused deck, and then potentially also do a one-pager.
Sweet. Awesome. That's Great. Thanks for that update. So this is swap. Are you working on?
Yeah, this is a song, but I'll post it in there, and give me a shout.
Thanks for that update. In terms of promoting our grant on Gitcoin GR20, I am tempted to assign this to Coffee Crusher.
Yes, that does.
Okay.
Coffee.
I feel you. Always time for more coffee. Okay, so put it into this week's section. And again, feel free, everyone, to also promote it on your own as you wish. Going into our blocked waiting needs feedback. Gitcoin GR20, this is actually active now, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of our active projects. I'll stick it at the top here. So that is up, and we're now on the promotion side of things. Claim Retro PGF3. We're going to wait until May to do this. Sometimes it's difficult to get the multi-sig together, but we do have a bunch of streaming funds coming in to our Superfluid page, and we just need to actually claim those as we can. The Delaware LLC taxes, we basically, I think, actually, Arkisti, we can close this off now, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
You filed it, right?
I did file it. You know what? I realized that there is an email in my inbox, which I should check before I close this off. But this could be closed off as soon as today, once I check that email.
Okay, yeah, and I think, yeah, it might make sense to, like, there were some other questions on there, so maybe move that to a new.
You know what? I'll put this into the inbox so we remember to talk about it at the Ops Weekly tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, cool. Transcendence, how's this going?
Yeah, I had a little conversation with Alan. He was interested in having a meeting with myself, Rainus, and Coffee Crusher to discuss a plan for releasing the video, more of like a strategy. And then let's see, what else did he and I discuss? I was trying to get him interested in earning some nogs for the stuff that he's doing, and I was wondering if it would be a good idea to ask Dom if we can get some allocation specifically for that work that's going on, or specifically for marketing work. I don't know exactly how we would phrase this. We don't want to necessarily ask for extra tokens, and they're already giving us tokens, but
I mean, we could take some of this out of our allocation of tokens. I mean, maybe the question really to ask Dom would be, hey, we have this this filter coming out for noggles, and we were thinking of using some of the allocation you gave us to get this creator kind of like aligned with nogs. Do you think that's the best way to do it? Like, I guess like more the question is, you're giving us these nogs to distribute to users. Should we be distributing it to this creator, or would that be kind of against the spirit of it?
Yes.
And then if he's like, oh well, there's this creator fund here, maybe you should just go for this. Like he might think of that, might prompt him to give us other opportunities, because there's now nogs tipping on Farcaster and other kinds of things, right? So you can tip in nogs as well. So there are a bunch of ways to get nogs right now. So he might be able to give us some information if we prompt him.
Okay.
I have a question. Is there a value to the nogs?
There is now, yeah. There's a liquidity pool. Noggles are currently worth $0.0003.
Got it. Better than bank. Okay. And then in regards to NF, like how he wants, I mean, I remember you mentioning a while ago that we should do like an AMA. I think that would be really cool, because to give him some because he's really wants to help promote Transcendence and kind of the work that he does. So we could do something really cool with kind of promoting, having like an AMA style promoting of his work and this project and so forth.
Yeah, and every time these AMAs come up, I kind of wonder like what platform are we going to use? Would that be Spaces from our account, or should we try and use Unlonely because that seems to be more of what the Warcraft crowd is going for right now. We
Which
don't
one?
have Unlonely.
Unlonely.
Where is that?
So Unlonely it's unlonely.app. You can go to it. It's fine. I wouldn't use it generally. I'm using it as a user quite a bit, but I'm not using it as a streamer. You either need to understand how to use OBS very well or pay for a premium StreamYard, which I think Drost actually does, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Drost, do you actually have a StreamYard account?
Not StreamYard, but I do have other streaming services. And what I didn't point out when I was giddy about my bandwidth upgrade at the beginning of the call is that previously I was unable to restream anything because each stream needs like 5 megabit of bandwidth, and that was like all of my bandwidth upstream. So anyway, getting back to the point of the question is, yes, I do have the ability to stream. So does I've been working with a little bit with ZFi and Anthony Zentimo on that stuff. But yeah, I can. Yeah. I've been looking at ways to try and kind of pivot my advanced hobbyist skill set, shall we say, that I've been using for the pod and stuff to maybe repurpose that and maybe do some promotion around bCard or do some community stuff. So. And now I have some better bandwidth to be able to actually do that. So anyway, yeah, those ideas have been floating around in my head, and I would love to maybe start experimenting with some of that.
So Coffee Crusher and Rainus, some things to think about for your content funnel as well, is that Drost is potentially able to has unlocked some capabilities as well. I can already think of a bunch of stuff. Drost, are you available at the for the communication meeting tomorrow? Maybe we can discuss potential things that you could do.
Yeah, sure. I'll join that.
Go.
I mean, I would love to regarding Transcendence, because it's very visual, his work. It would be something if we could do whatever Spaces type, I'll just call it Spaces, but you know what I mean, like the conversation with him to talk about his work, is that whatever we use platform, I want it to be able to show his work, because that's really the beauty of what he's doing, right? Because I think it's
not great.
It's very visual. It's very visual, his stuff, right? So whatever we can use that is whatever platform that will work for us to show off his stuff would be the best way to go.
Both YouTube and Unlonely are options. I would suspect that Unlonely is going to be much more difficult to set up. I suspect for all of your, because they really only take StreamYard or OBS, whereas I think YouTube kind of connects into almost any streaming platform, if I'm not mistaken. So just something to think about. Potentially a visual medium like Unlonely. Yeah, maybe Winverse could be running our OBS for us. I know he's using OBS to record this meeting right now, but I'm not quite sure. And we could also, the creators of Unlonely will also give us tech support if we want to run it on OBS on Unlonely using OBS. All right. Anything else on that, Anna Thinker?
No, nothing on there right now.
So this is no longer blocked then, is that right?
Yeah, no longer blocked. I've gotten back in touch with him.
All right, now it's Prop House. We're still waiting on this, actually. I do need a new thing, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just see if it's down here. But there is an April, I need to do the April patron email. April patron email. So I will do that. Well, I'll probably try to get out the rough draft today. Success criteria. April update is sent to our patrons. All right, so I will send that out and get some feedback before I do. All right, so let's go ahead and prioritize this list. This Retro PGF4 no longer needs to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the all team projects for now, and I'll leave it in the ops. And I'll leave it in the ops weekly, and we can talk about it maybe later in the future and resurface it as we need. Beta app, I would say that that's pretty high up there. Specifically, the rewards flow, I think, is the most important thing that we can focus on. So, Tom, where are you in terms of the rewards flow? What are the things that you need to help you? Because I feel like I feel like there may be some help that we could give you to equip you.
Just testing. I ran through some validation verification on my end, and I'm pretty happy with the results that I got from my own personal tests. But as these things go, generally everybody's equipment is different and everybody's setup is different, and wallets are, as we know, unique and a growing category. So if anybody can test on their own particular setup with their own particular configuration and report back to me, let me know what you experience, if it works, if it doesn't work, any sort of feedback along the lines would be great. I know we got a couple of tests that were successful from MetaMask and Blue Bear and Corrupted. I think somebody else, maybe Arcristy, maybe 2 or 3 we had claims successes that went through, I think. So that's positive news. More tests, the better is kind of what I need to see, so that I can figure out what needs fixing.
Arcristy, did you successfully claim the logs? I think I saw that in user testing that you did claim it, but you claimed through Coinbase, right?
Yeah, I did Coinbase, and I had to log in with their integrated browser.
And Blue Bear, were you able to successfully claim?
Yeah, I was able to successfully claim on MetaMask. I was going to suggest maybe some language on that last screen. Yes, claim now, that I was blocked on before, to either disconnect or reconnect your wallet, or just confirm that your wallet is actually connected. Because it had been a while since I had connected MetaMask, it had forgotten that connection, and that's why I wasn't getting a prompt when I pushed that button. So.
Okay. Yeah, there is. It's actually something outstanding that I'm supposed to do, which is to create the connect wallet / reconnect wallet, flow that can be used in both onboarding and the rewards flow. So that might help that as well. If you signed in a long time ago, the connection gets no longer usable, and we need to kind of detect and reconnect at that case.
Yeah, I was able to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was able to just kill my my wallet and then reconnect it, and that forced that connection to work.
Yep, I think generally that's what I've seen as well too, is sort of unlinking and relinking will sort of force that connection to work. Now, until last week's push to production, a lot of the code I think that we had in place was using old vendor software, and so there could be issues related to that if you had used it prior to last week. So if you had given it a try and it wasn't giving you any love, this week might give you some more love. So that's good news.
Corrupted, have you tried the claim flow? I think you should have 1 nog ready to claim for you.
I had not tried. I'm trying it right now, actually.
Awesome. So Corrupted's going to try it. Coffee, can you try as well? I'm sure you'll have 1 nog in there.
Yes, I will.
Okay. And Jost too, please, if you could try. And just drop your feedback in bCard, or even better, in user testing. And we're going to try to make this flow good, and then we're going to launch. Then we're going to do a nice little soft launch into public beta where we can start sharing that link, app.getbcard.io. And yeah.
I do not have any nogs, but I do have 100 bank I can claim.
Okay. Does that seem legit, Tom?
It could be some transactions waiting to update. I'd have to double check. I think everybody should have at least 1 nog, so if you're not seeing it, I would suggest if you can log out and log in, and if you did just log in, then I'm going to have to double check something on my end.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that I have 1 nog, and it looks like 147 bank. and then I can't claim it yet because it says I need to either add a connected wallet or refresh the app to load the latest data. So I'll do that after I get off the call.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to, so testing is the most important thing that we can do to get us out into our public beta. And then we have our April patron email, since it's very timely. Our updating of the website is probably one of the more important things that we can do. It is as soon as we kind of launch publicly, we're going to need to start, people are going to start looking at our website. So I think that is one of the things that is really important for us to accomplish, is to get that website updated. Beyond that, I would say this create community intake form is actually in review, if I'm not mistaken. So this is needs feedback. Okay, finding a new on-ramp provider is pretty important too, so I'll put that up here. Promoting our grant, I would say, is really important, so I'm going to stick it up there. Update cash flow for POC. I'm going to say that this is starting to get important as well. I'll stick it here. The next brand. I was supposed to add Brett to this. I'll add you to this as well, but this is really related to the website as well. So let's put right beside the website. And then we start having our, beyond that, we start having our partners. Okay, great. Does this look like an appropriate prioritization for us? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yes,
looks okay to me.
it looks good.
All right. Okay, great. Yeah, back to our weekly all hands document, getting down to what did we ship last week? So I had a tough week myself, but I did get some stuff out last week before this week, where I took some time off and then had a sick kid with me yesterday. But Bluebear and I met around the beta program, figuring out kind of how Bluebear can take some of this off my plate so I can get more into some of the product stuff. I did ship an email and a survey and a support article for MDES. That survey didn't really get used. I'm hoping that some people added Apple Wallet, added their cards to Apple Wallet and Google Pay, but we are still figuring out how we can see when that happens. There may be some transactions that we see as a result, but maybe not. So that's something we're looking into. I shipped the payroll transaction, so that is out the door. NFThinker met with TravelSwap and ATX DAO, submitted the Gitcoin GR20 application, and it created a new community intake form. We also, NFThinker created a draft partner rev share doc, met with Hazu, one pager, and Beck. Nice.
And then I have a couple things to add. Rainus, Andy, and myself met with Brett, so that team could see the new branding on Friday of last week.
Yeah. How did that go, by the way?
Well, go ahead, Rainus, because I want, so everybody can hear your reaction.
Rainus, you're muted. I don't know if you know that.
Sorry, I got distracted. What was the question?
How did the meeting on Friday go related to the brand?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, loved the brand. I was surprised that you links were okay with dark colors, because I remember us previously when we were talking with Hasu, dark colors were not of your preference, so I was surprised about that. But anyway, the brand seems very sound. The name is very interestingly chosen. yeah, I'd like to see that more develop. Of course, this was the first step, but I love what Brett did. And regarding our current website, Andy and Brett discussed, and they came to a conclusion. If I could phrase this correctly, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. But the understanding was that the base graphical assets that Andy had to work with to create this design were not the best, and so Brett provided Andy with new artboards where he could take elements and play around with them, and he's going to do the website design from zero now with the second try.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for that update. I appreciate that. All right. And what else did you have, Coffee Crusher? You said you had a couple things?
Oh, the other one was just promoting of bCard Taxman on socials last week.
Taxman on bCard. All right. Great. Anything else anyone shipped last week?
Mine is just taxband fixes and OP token and bCard points implementation on staging.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Will we retro drop people who've spent already?
We certainly can.
points.
We can just crawl back through previous transactions and award retroactively. That shouldn't be a problem. It's not going to happen live in any case until we go to the production server.
Cool. Nice. Just as an FYI, basically we are giving not claimable bCard tokens, but essentially bCard points to anyone who has spent any money on our current iteration. Transactions get us revenue and they get our community revenue. So if people are creating transactions for us, we're going to award them 1 bCard point per dollar that they spend. So this is in addition to any other kind of token they're getting. So if you are on Announce Card and you're earning NOGs, you're also going to be earning bCard points as well. All right, great. Nice week we had last week. Moving over to our discussion items, moving to public beta. So this is something I wanted to discuss. We started it before. Are there other discussion items that we want to throw in here? Anyone have any? No? Okay, great. Well, moving to public beta, we said we had a bunch of stipulations on our beta app before we wanted to move. We wanted to get 50 users. We have 35. We wanted to get an SUS score, which is something that we can probably get pretty soon if we just send a beta email. We wanted to ship the claim rewards feature, which is almost done, and we wanted to get a repeatable way to gather feedback, which Blue Bear and I discussed last week. So we're getting pretty close to doing our public beta launch, and what that means is that we can start adding, well, first of all, Coffee Crusher and Rainus and the rest of the communication team, you guys can start to go nuts, sharing our link everywhere as you like. And second, we can start adding new communities, which I think is going to, new communities is really the go-to market strategy that we wanted to test the most. So when it comes down to our prioritization, what we're going to be mainly trying to do is support our communities as much as possible. And then secondarily, we're going to be running our own kind of campaigns through our content and other kinds of things. But our primary hypothesis for actually going to market, our go-to-market strategy, is really around like the idea that, hey, if we create a card that that benefits communities and allows their members to support those communities, then people will use it, right? That is the primary hypothesis that we've been working with for the last, let's say, couple of years even, and now we're finally getting to the point. The public beta is the point where we can really, in a direct way, test that hypothesis. Up until now, we've only been doing it in kind of a more indirect way, you know, through surveys, through talking to DAO leaders and community leaders. Now, our public beta is kind of where the rubber hits the road, and we've really been, I would say, like even in our private beta, since we require people to kind of come to us to get that link, and then even more so get a deploy code. I think that our public beta is going to start opening up things quite a bit more. The one thing that I would say is missing is, well, first, I mean, we talked about the rewards flow. There's other things that we talked about in there. That's missing. Another thing that's missing is for the nouns community, we don't actually have an end-to-end flow with NNS related to their claim codes. Do we, NF Thinker?
No, we don't. And we have brought it up with Dom a couple of times, and his response was, well, he suggested a frame, actually, that we do a frame on Warpcast.
But like, is he going to do the frame, or are we going to do the frame?
They've done the frame previously, something similar, and I think he would do the frame.
Okay, so maybe we just need to reach out to him and say like, hey, you guys want us to get your frame ready because we want to move to public beta pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. In case you guys are wondering what these claim codes are, there are two communities right now on bCard. One is Bankless DAO, where you earn bank for your transactions, and two is Nouns DAO, where you earn NOGs for your transactions. But to join Nouns, you need an invite code, and that invite code is unique per user. So the invite code gets used once, and then you can't use it anymore. So it's really important that we have, if anyone wants to join Nouns, I mean, Nogs is hot right now, right? People are going to want to join for Nouns. And so that invite code, I think, is going to be pretty important. So I'm thinking, like, as soon as this rewards is done, basically we're in public beta. And then what that means to me as well is that it's going to put if we're in public beta and we're starting to share, we're probably not going to get very many users until we actually engage these communities that we've been talking to. Nouns first, but then also other communities that want to go up there, communities like Gloom and their Gloom token and all these other kinds of things. But yeah, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In general, in terms of moving to public beta, are there other things that we should be thinking about that I haven't listed, I haven't talked about?
We didn't list anything. List is empty.
Yeah, so the list is here. I'll grab these things.
I'm just joking.
In verbal communication. So, list of stuff from Asana. If it uses in the app, and I think we have something like 37 right now, currently 37. So we did do this. This is can be got via beta email this week. Ship the claim rewards feature in testing phase, and repeatable way to gather feedback. Blue Bear link working on this. And then finally, Nouns invite codes are gettable by Nouns members. All right. So, NF Thinker who pushed Dom for this. All right. Any opposition to moving to public beta at this point? No? All right. Good. I mean,
I do.
What's up?
I'm just great. The flow of support questions and stuff like that, if we do go to a public beta and people need their questions answered and need responsiveness, that kind of thing, are we prepared to handle that? Yes
and no. So no, we're not really, I guess. So let's add this to the list, actually. It's a really good call out. People have been DMing me in general, so it's not great. Support flow. So I think it is a really good call out, Trost. And I also think that it is an opportunity for us as well. So Blue Bear kind of, has suggested, oh, they could help out on this, which is great. But beta is different than support, and as well, our support right now is mainly on Discord. So I guess like the question to me is, one, is there someone who's willing to take this on outside of myself? I'll take it on if no one else takes it on. Is there someone who's willing to take this on? And the second question is there a preferred communication method that we do? Right now we have only a form in the app and our support site, but is there someone who's willing to, and our support email, is there someone who's kind of willing to take on checking the email every day, checking the support form every day, and just answering the people who are coming in?
I've been answering the people that fill out the forms already, so we've got a few of those that have popped up already, and I've been working on that.
Okay. Would you be willing to check the support email?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that also.
Okay. So maybe that's the support flow that we optimize for now, is the form and the email. I know like one-to-one chat is really interesting for people, but it's not something we can always, I don't think it's something we can necessarily handle, but maybe it is. Maybe that's kind of like the power of the DAO as well, is that we create a Discord and then allow verified members to like answer questions from people.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. I'm not opposed to the idea of even having a public office hours too, if we do end up having support requests begin queuing up in a way that we can't sort of handle on a one-to-one basis. Even that way, we can start like helping people through common problems in like a maybe weekly like round table type format.
I think we were gearing towards Telegram becoming our support channel at one point, just to call back on our previous ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do have a Telegram channel set up. Unfortunately, well, there's nothing on it, so we can fully remake it. But unfortunately, the link is t.me/banklesscard. And I don't seem to be able to change that.
I guess like
I would.
In my head, I wondered like is there a benefit to using Telegram over Discord? And the question to me that hasn't been answered yet is, should we have a live chat at all?
I think if we go with a Discord's got a good tickets bot, and I would not be opposed to fielding tickets, and then we can start gathering some information off of that.
Would we be creating a new Discord server for that?
I think so. Like basically when people drop into the Bankless DAO Discord, it's like, huh? Where'd I go? So I guess it would be really useful, I think, if like we had our own Discord, which is really just like drop in, verify, and then you can just kind of ask your question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's another project that I had to submit that I used, and they had a Discord, and it was basically I created a ticket. There was a place within the Discord channel that I could create a ticket because I was having a problem, and then it was, it was all. I got response from the two main people that were working on, to help me with that. So that feels to me sort of a good way to get help, like if you're having problems, for one-on-ones.
Mm-hmm. I see that we're a bit over. You know what? Let me. Do you have time today, Blue Bear, to discuss this? Oh, you know what? I just realized I might actually have a meet too right now. I might be late for a meet here. Oh no, never mind. Okay, I'm not late. Do you have time a little bit later today, Blue Bear, to discuss this? I think like there's a lot of things we could do. And since Blue Bear's kind of like the one who's saying like, oh, I'm gonna start on this. I kind of want to make sure. I kind of want to ensure that Blue Bear, you have the initiative on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I can put together a quick Discord server, and we can spruce it up a little bit and create a ticket bot for it and get that going.
Okay, I guess like we'll okay, yeah, we'll talk about it later since we're a little bit over on time. Hey, Anna, I think I see you're unmuted. Do you have something else to say?
Oh no, I just forgot to mute.
Okay, great.
I was gonna say in there earlier that not everybody has Discord, so we just need to be conscious of that.
Exactly. Not everyone has Discord, not everyone has Telegram, but everyone has email, right? And so that's why it's really good that we start with the email. Blue Bear, as well, in our discussion today, I'm going to get you access to that support email, which I think you may already have access to, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if I've got access to is that password in the password link folder? Then I can.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
When we meet
perfect.
today, I'll just make sure that you have everything you need to be on that.
Great.
All right. Well, hey, I know I'm a bit over, but I just want to say thank you to everyone for sticking around for the extra 3 minutes. And thank you for pushing us forward. It's going to be, even now, I think it's going to be even more important that we stick together as a team as we're pushing forward, getting into public beta. Now is going to be the time when most of the haters are going to start hating on us when we're more in public. And it's really important to note that, of course, the people who speak up are typically the ones who have the least positive things to say, but let's just remember that feedback is a gift, and it's all going to help us get stronger over the long run. So thank you for being around when the biggest issue that we had was, hey, can we even get this thing out? And now the problem is going to change, and I think it's going to change to the point where we need to stick together even more as a team. So thank you for everyone for all the teamwork that we've done so far, and I think that now there's just going to be even more activity that's coming. So I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.